Happy holidays! Welcome to Hangin with Street Level Spirituality, hanging with your sign, and you're hanging out with me. I've got a name, but I don't talk about it. I'm Street Level Spirituality. Anyway, this is a lineup for the holidays for the month of December, and what we're going to do is check in with each other. How are you doing? I'm doing pretty good. I've just been chilling and doing my thing. I'm not sure what that is these days, but I'm 44 years old and I'm right in I've just passed through a lot of my midlife planets, so it's just a big change of direction for me, and I'm feeling pretty good because I've started doing things that are more in alignment with who I am, which is these readings, and I make music for fun, and I've been doing more stuff that's just more in tune with where I'm coming from and feeling better about everything. So that's good. New directions. How are you guys doing? Like always, there's tons of cycles with people and different things. If you have a Cancer ascendant, you're getting it really good. If you're a Capricorn, you're getting it really good. If you're a Scorpio, you just have a lot of good stuff moving through your sign. So there's just cycles for everything, and some things they come up and they go down. So whenever it's bad, don't freak out. It's going to get better. And whenever it's peaceful, don't worry, it'll get worse soon. So anyway, I've just been tuning into the energy, getting into the holiday spirit a little bit. And there's a lot of different vibes floating around. This will just be the general intro for the videos from an astrological point of view, and then we'll get into your personal readings per sign right after this. So anyway, this is my new jam right here. Oh yeah, this is my new, this new video setup. I'm not sure about it. It's got, I have a monitor behind me I'm looking at. The shadow from the light lingers on my head. So I'd have to move forward, I guess, to not do that. But I've been trying to create a setup that's simple and easy, that's not super complex. I have like all these like professional lights and stuff, but I'm just trying to use a single light. I don't know. And I switched cameras. I was just using my laptop camera, but I went back to my Blackmagic camera. What do you guys think? Is it okay? It's not supposed to be amazing, but anyway, and then I went to an onboard mic on the camera. So maybe there's a lot of room noise. I put a little holiday music in the background. Hopefully YouTube doesn't hose me. Anyway, and then this is my new jam. Yep, you saw it here first. One of my favorite things to do right now is to drink coffee at nighttime. Don't ask me why. When I get excited, it's all balanced, right? I don't know, it's okay. It looks okay. Let's check it out. And then I noticed this shirt too. It's like somebody grabbed my neck or something. I don't know. But anyway, so the holidays are coming. This is making me feel festive. So there's a lot going on. I have different cards that I use. And for the general vibe, I just wanted to get a general tone for everybody right now. And the message is, it's never too late to begin, even in an experience. For life and its experience is a continued and continuous effort. So I think it's the idea that sometimes in life we can, we look at it, if we look at things purely from a physical point of view, or in a modern day sense, science has really become the new god for a lot of people. And it kind of takes the magic out of things to a certain degree. And if we look at life only this way, then we focus on our mortality and we look at different ages as signposts of our impending doom, so to say. So what can happen is that at a younger time in our life, we can get excited and establish ourselves, establish our careers, and really get excited about exploring who we are as people and expressing that to the world. And then as we get older, it's not really till about 40 that you're fully developed. Your full psychic faculties are developed at 40 years old. So that's when you really, really, truly start to see things for what they are. And But often at that same time, it's a time in life where we're looking at our life and saying, oh, if it's a purely material view, we can look at life and say, oh, I'm getting older, and and we lose that kind of spark moving forward. So in mid-age, 40, that time period in our life is a really important time period to really reevaluate, get clear about who we really are, and really own our personal truth, and not hold on so much to the things that worked for us in the past. And look at life from a spiritual view. And a spiritual view, we hear this terminology all the time, but we don't always understand what it means. We get a general idea, but it's the idea that we have a soul, and that this soul is independent of the material world, and that it's something that its consciousness moves in and out of incarnations. And if that's the case, there's this concept or idea that the effort that we put into developing our talents, whether it's music or careers or detective work or accounting, whatever your thing is, learning to articulate yourself, refining your skill with your creative expression, whatever it might be, is that goes along with us into the next life. And if we look at things from that view, it takes away this kind of downtrodden angle about moving forward with new ideas and new directions. Just recently I've been rekindling this passion I have for making clothes. I've tried. It's hard. I don't know if any of you guys are sewers out there, but it's really hard. And I've made pants, I've made some shirts and stuff, but I get a little discouraged, and you need like specialty gear. But at my age, I'm like, maybe it's okay to explore new passions and new ideas I've never explored before. Maybe that's what I need more than ever right now. So anyway, so the general message for everyone right now moving into the holidays is just to hold this idea or this spirit of immortality, that our spirit's eternal. And that if that's the case, and we're checking in these different physical lifetimes and having these opportunities to learn and explore, to take advantage of those no matter what age you are, and not see your life as this kind of ascending and descending opportunity, but as one consistent opportunity that moves into multiple lifetimes. And I think that changes our attitude, it changes our spirit, meaning like our quality of expression. And even though the physical body may pass, that we take full advantage of this lifetime that we have here and not see it as something in vain or that time is running out. So that's the spirit of Christmas I'm sharing with you guys this year. Happy holidays. So anyways, that's one tone that I picked up. And that ties in also with some of the astrological aspects that are happening this month. Because we have, let's see, what is it? It's, Jupiter leaving Sagittarius and moving into the sign of Capricorn. So Jupiter in Capricorn's a little out of its place. Jupiter's native sign is in Sagittarius. So it's been in Sagittarius, and usually Jupiter lasts about a year in a sign. And it brings good fortune, expands opportunities for that particular sign. Or aspects of your own chart that aspect Capricorn. So maybe you have a Capricorn moon, ascendant, or your Mercury aspects Capricorn. Whatever's aspecting Capricorn, you're going to see new expansion and new opportunities through the new year. So that's exciting. But that really helps with Jupiter, since Capricorn is all about establishing yourself and growing yourself in real practical, mundane matters like career and business and things like that. Jupiter is going to expand and create a lot of opportunity for you to focus on maybe starting your own business or things of that sort. Anything to do with career. So this overall message that we got at the beginning ties into that, in the sense that don't let age affect your ambitions and your spirit and your excitement to explore new opportunities, because this next year is going to really support that with Jupiter in Capricorn. So we have a full moon in Gemini on December 12th. And so it's going to be kind of an energy of wanting to kind of retreat and be jovial and connect with other people and talk and get introspective and reflective and just chit chat, you know, and have a playful chit chat with a group of people or a friend. It's that kind of energy. Let's see. And the other thing too is that, you know, there's, I'll get to that in a little bit. The full moon in Gemini also aspects Neptune, and Neptune is, I call it Planet Hollywood. It's the kind of energy that a screenwriter uses to imagine whole worlds and characters and all these things. So along with that kind of jovial, playful energy, there's a real deep intuitive and imaginative energy around that also. And that ties in really nice with Gemini, because Gemini likes to talk and chit chat and have a good time. And with Neptune, there can be a lot of playful fantasy and you know, again, how it's affecting your chart, aspecting your chart in particular will have unique effects. But in general, it's just a good, playful, imaginative time in the full moon area there. The other thing that's happening is we have Venus kind of, during this full moon, is Venus is situating itself right between Saturn and Pluto in Capricorn. And again, this, and of course, this is leading up to what I talked about in the last video series, which is the huge big event happening in January, which is Pluto and Saturn conjunct, which is going to be a big one for government and established institutions. You might see big secrets coming out in government. I talked about it in the last videos, but it's a good thing. It's a big thing we're ramping up for. But anyway, so Venus is kind of situating itself right between Saturn and Pluto, right leading up to this last month before that big interaction. And so, you know, Venus also, you know, it has a lot to do with material goods and love and expression and things of that sort. So during the holidays, kind of being right between this Pluto, Saturn, sandwiched in between the two, you know, there's many elements to it, but one aspect could just be to be mindful. I guess a practical aspect of it would be mindful with your Christmas shopping. That, you know, anything that you decide to do is thoughtful and mindful. And you know, something that came up for me is you know, the holidays, they bring up our values in a really big way. They bring up, you know, do we value family? Do we want to spend, you know, the holidays with family? Do we want to spend it on our own? Do we want to spend our money on junk? Do we want to take the time to think about each person in our lives that we are buying gifts for or creating a gift for, and think about their own personal spiritual growth and what they're going through on an individual level, and really take the time to meditate and reflect on what could best serve them in their spiritual growth. You know, it's just something to consider. And you know, it's a great time to reflect on your values before you take big action moving forward into the holidays, and how you want to approach gifts and what they truly mean to you, and what can you do to really truly share something from your heart and help somebody's growth on a personal level. So something else to think about. And then the last thing is, after that, Venus moves into Aquarius on December 20th, and then we have the solstice on December 21st, and that's when everything starts shifting, and slowly the days will be getting longer and all that crap. So anyway, so that's the general astrological outlook. Again, we're ramping up to this really, really big aspect in Pluto Capricorn conjunction in the middle of January. But so far for the month, it just looks like it's, you know, it's a time to be jovial, playful, connect with other people, and be imaginative and things of that sort. So it's really fun. So anyway, so that's it for the astrological aspect of this. And then here's your personal reading. Hey Gemini, welcome to Hangin with Gemini, December holiday edition. Happy holidays. It's time to get to business because shit's going down for y'all. We got a few messages here. Your Edgar Casey card, just general tone to focus on, something for you to focus on for the month, is helping others is the best way to rid yourself of your own troubles. So keep that in mind. That's universal. We always need to keep the collective and get out of our own bullshit. Society's islands, everyone's focused on personal conquest, It's the reason why there's violence, and it's the reason why things are fucked up. Time to flip the script. You got it in your hands, and you know you're powerful, you know you're successful, you know you've done something great, because people are coming for you. And that's the theme of your reading for December 2019. Time to get real wise, real quick, put healthy boundaries down, and get strong. The nature of your reading is a 7 of Wands, and someone's coming for your success. Is that dramatic? Did I do a good job? All right, so let's flip out the rest of your cards here and see what's going on. Yep. The message is strong. Someone's coming for your goods. Someone's a baller. And if you saw the beginning of the reading, you would know that you have a Gemini full moon on December 12th, and it's being aspected in all sorts of great ways. This is all about you this month. This is your month. Now let's see your attitude. Yep, seeing that motherfucking grow. Your environment, hopes and fears, and outcome. Yeah, buddy, you got the 3 of Cups as your outcome. So there's going to be something to celebrate this holiday. And I think this is all about learning to master how you protect what you create. So anyway, looking at this, so again, the nature of the reading, we have the 7 of Wands. It's just this general idea that you've been successful, and it's just a part of life. It's a part of the natural journey of the soul to learn that once you create success, once you create, and this isn't just material success, this could be coming into your creative solutions, your creativity. I've experienced this in my life where, I'm not particularly in the music industry. I've been making music all my life, and I got invited to produce a record for someone who was semi-famous, and I was personally invited to work on it. I didn't seek it out, and a friend of mine who was a professional musician got really jealous and wrote me this really long email saying how, I did this and that to manipulate my way into the situation when I never really had the personal interest to begin with. It was just an invitation, and it was an opportunity, and I appreciated it, and I took advantage of it. So you'll see the snakes come out. You'll see the anger come out, and I can get super esoteric. I read a lot of old documents like the Nag Hammadi library, and a lot of these writings talk about the nature and root of why we have certain emotions that we're managing and dealing with and all that stuff. Some of it's esoteric, some of it's kind of literal. But at the nature of this, it's the idea that Pistis Sophia is this aeon, right? It's kind of like this larger consciousness that's a subdivision of the God consciousness, so to say. Some people call them angels. They're called aeons in the old writings. Anyway, the idea is that at some point she self-created without her polarity, without her masculine counterpart, so to say, and that a creation that's not in balance with the masculine feminine principles, it's considered, in proper terminology, a bastard creation. And so it created the material world, and within that there was always this desire in the being that was created, or the consciousness that was created out of that, which was a being, I can't pronounce it really good, but it's like Yabaldoth or something like that. And it's this being who didn't have the spiritual essence from Prime Source because of the nature of its creation. And so it created envy. It was this envy, it was this unresolved frustration of not having that spiritual source and that complete energy and that complete light. And so that was the root of envy. And in those old teachings, envy is the root of death itself. So envy is this desire to have the light. And you found the light. You found something in yourself that is fulfilling, is shining and flickering this light outward into the world. You're owning your spirit. You're owning your spiritual nature. And even though we all have a spiritual nature, not everybody owns it. Not everybody acknowledges it or has the faith in that process. And so what happens is when somebody's light comes out and their spirit comes out into the world, the people that are not doing that, or the people that would like to be doing that, can get very envious. And you don't want to get wrapped up in that junk because, or that invitation to that party, because what happens is you just get wrapped up in that kind of energy when you're already, aligned in your true spiritual source. So whatever you've done, I don't know what it is, a creative project, just getting in touch with yourself, you've really manifested something within your being that is of your true spiritual realms, spiritual nature, and from the spiritual realm. So what happens is people will come at you. So you have to be really, really wise. This is really interesting territory. And this could be a new lesson for you, or it could be something that you've been through before and you know how to establish strong boundaries. Now, I went through this a couple years ago. I had a couple people come at me really, really strong when I entered this company with a real leadership type position. And I mean, it got to the point of people coming at me with anger and backstabbing. I mean, it was just like out of nowhere. And it was weird because it coincided with me moving into my elder position in the type of business that I do, which is graphic design, brand development, product development, things like that. Is I noticed I was moving into this kind of position where I had no one to look up to anymore, and I had to start being kind of play out that leadership role. Well, as soon as I came into that position that I've earned, over the years, and that's when they started coming at me. And it was a period of a year, and I had to face a lot of things, but I had to stick to my personal truth. So for you, it's really, really important that you have the confidence to protect and be there for yourself and protect what is this creation of yours, and how to manage those situations. It's creating really strong boundaries. It's learning how to be honest and not get invited into the spider web of aggression, judgment, or anything like that. We want to move away from evaluations. When communicating with people, we want to speak from our feelings, and we also need to speak from our boundaries and what our limitations are and what our limits are with people, and let people know kindly how to do that. So when we're not confident, we fight for things. When we're confident, we tell the truth and we lay out our boundaries. So don't get into that spider web of they just want to knock you out of your power place. So anyway, so that's that. The nature of it is the Three of Pentacles upside down. Now, Three of Pentacles is this you've created this masterpiece. Upside down, it's like I can see that there's just this turbulent energy around this energy. So in the spiritual realms, you have the Empress, which is very beautiful, very nurturing. Whatever you've created is just emanating this sense of beauty and creativity and creation. It's a very holistic and whole creation. In the subconscious realms, the things that we're not totally aware of but motivate us subconsciously, you have the Knight of Swords. So there's this really strong drive mentally, and being a Gemini, that's going to be really natural for you. In the recent past, we had the Page of Swords upside down, so something wasn't coming to fruition in the mental realms, but it appears to be now, or I think you're garnering the mental strength to protect yourself. The words, the way we communicate from the mind can be like a sword, and we have to be mindful that how we're wielding that sword, because it cuts both ways. In the upcoming future, you have the King of Cups. So this is, I think this is you. I think this is you really being a master of your emotions and just sitting firmly and confident in your emotions and not being, tricked into emotional turmoil. Your attitude around the situation is really simple, is that you've really created something, it's growing, it's fruiting, the fruit's coming, and that you're just taking the time to kick back and watch it grow. The attitude around you, this attitude around you is this idea of loss, that there's something lost. But it's not really that there's something lost, it's just this, some people have to go through the emotional journey of experiencing the perception of loss to recognize that they truly are eternal and immortal beings in spirit. And that all the resources you have and what you've created is available to anyone, as long as they honor their own spiritual path. So sometimes we just have to let people go through that process, and you're shining, whether they're responding to it negatively or not is a really positive example for them. You're showing people how to do it. So anything you can do to, not just protect yourself, but in the process, if you can generate a lot of kindness and compassion in the process, you might be able to become, if someone can get past their anger, you might be able to become an example of how you can achieve the same thing. And that would be a real master level way of transforming this experience. Greatest hopes and greatest fears is that your boat's not going to come home, but it is, so I don't think that's going to be a big deal right now. It's looking out and finding your place in the world, and I think that's inevitable. Now, your outcome is the Three of Cups. You couldn't have a better outcome for this reading. It's a celebration. It's a emotional celebration. There's a sense of warmth. There's a sense of connection. So I would say that not only what you've created, you've been able to protect, but you've also been able to turn this into a spiritual experience, a growth for yourself and a growth for others. So I hope that helps, and I hope you have happy holidays, Gemini. This month's all about you. It's your full moon. You have all these beautiful aspects connecting with it. You have Venus connecting with the full moon. And a lot of breaking down old structure and authority. You might have some kind of old energy coming at you, and you're going to help through your own process, help them facilitate their own. And I think that's the message here. Keep the heart open. It's the spirit of the holidays. What can we do in our power to be of service to others? I hope this reading's helped you a lot. Happy holidays, Gemini.